Hey, what's up, people? What's up, everybody out there in YouTube land? Welcome to the Gamers at Large, episode 77. Tonight we got the usual suspects, and it's basically another chocolate cast. Shep, how you doing, man?
It's good, peeps. It's good shepherd. Your ADHD specialist coming through.
All right.
Destiny's
Shadow, how
better
you
than I
doing?
thought.
What? Okay. Shadow, how you doing tonight, man?
Not much. Just playing a little Tomb Raider Definitive Edition here, and I don't know, unlocking some tombs.
All right. And is Andre made it back yet?
He might. I don't know. I don't think he made it back yet.
All right, then. Well, we're going to get started. We'll just let him talk when he comes back. Uh, First thing tonight that we have on
Oh,
tap.
Mr. T's here, son.
Oh yeah. Hey T, how you doing, man?
He might not be ready yet.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Okay. Well, anyway, let's go and just jump into stuff. So, first topic up tonight is EA. They had a I think it was on like Tuesday or Thursday. Not Tuesday. I think it was Thursday. They actually had a article out, basically telling people that they're not doing or working on remasters. They're using their time and energy to focus on new IPs. So I want to get you guys' thoughts on that because personally, I think that's actually a good idea. If like more uh, bigger third parties do that, maybe we could stop this whole let's do definitive editions of stuff that came out 2 years ago crap.
Rinse and repeat.
Yeah. So I mean, what's your thoughts on that? You go first, Shep.
Honestly, I think we kind of agree on this one. It's a great idea. We need new content, not remade content, not re-up content, but actual new content. Because the whole thing is, if you keep this up, it's eventually going to get stagnant. So this is new blood, new stuff. Awesome. I say EA. I'm not really fond of their business practices the last decade or so, but hey, things could change. I hope they come out with some good stuff. I know one thing, I'm getting Cuphead as soon as it's available.
All
Oh,
right.
that's not really EA. They're supporting it.
No,
But yeah.
no, it's not. But I get you. I get you on that. Shadow, do you think it's a good idea? Like, if other would this cause like other companies like Activision, Ubi, and maybe Sony to like follow suit?
Not happening.
I don't think that's going to happen, but I will say that I've definitely seen EA sing this tune before, and then they ended up trying to sequelize those individual titles that they came out with new IPs, that being Dead Space and Mirror's Edge and stuff like that. So it kind of depends on how they're going to do this and what their true agenda is. What's the point of making a new IP if you're just going to make Assassin's Creed out of it? Because I mean, yes, it could work, but the whole point is making a experience from beginning to end that's planned from beginning to end. That's the whole point of having an idea IP, and that's the whole appeal of it. But if you're just going to milk it for all it's worth, then it might as well be another sequel. I mean, that's my end, but it is what it is.
Okay. T, you good?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Okay, all right. Just talking about EA not doing remasters and focusing on new IPs and how that will maybe affect like gaming as a whole, since EA is still a big company. What's your thoughts on that?
Um, do they really do that many remasters
Well,
right now?
I don't think they have in a while.
Yeah.
If they have, it hasn't been in a while.
Yeah, so they can. I missed the question because I had a power outage here.
No.
So I had to jump out and come back in. But what was
It's
just of it?
basically, what are our thoughts on like EA not going with focusing on new IPs and not going back to the well, as it were? And could this be something that will actually change in this age gen of people constantly doing remakes and remasters of stuff that came out 2 years ago?
It could if it works. If it doesn't, you can watch them change that up real quick.
Mhm.
So I'm glad that they're at least giving the lip service. Let's see it happen. Because we always talk all the time about all these great things that they used to do that they don't do anymore, like from 6th gen
Mhm.
and before. So
Desert Strike.
right, like I was playing Nuclear Strike the other day. Like they used. I mean, it's they have a lot of stuff that they've done in the past, and they can dig into the well, and that includes Nintendo too. Nintendo should do that more too. But I'm glad they're coming out saying they're acknowledging it at least. So I guess they're hearing the fans, and hopefully the fans will show up if they actually do make these games and buy them, so we can continue getting them. So.
And that's another thing. I was looking because I got a couple books from like stuff like Capcom where they gave out the Capcom dictionary where they pretty much go through all the titles that they have with like different artworks from it and everything. And I'm sitting there looking, I'm like, why are y'all always doing Ultimate Street Fighter 5 Dragon Ball Z edition? Why don't y'all just go and go back to like a sequel to like Power Stone or like a sequel to like Breath of Fire or something like that? Why is it that you got to keep going back and back and back for like stuff that really has gotten played out? And I hate to be the one to say this, but Resident Evil after 6 is just like that's just laughable.
Starting with 6.
Well, starting with 5 actually, because 4 was good.
Yeah.
5
was it was okay.
Nah. The other one was Illmatic.
Nice.
So, I mean, just looking at that, because I know EA. Well, I don't know what happened to EA Big. Did they get bought out or they just defuncted them? I don't know.
I think they divided them up. I don't know what happened.
Because like EA Big, for instance, had like they had the NBA Street. The NBA Street was off the chain.
Yes, it was. NBA Street, NFL Street, FIFA Street. All the Street series was awesome.
And they sold. It's not like they didn't sell. They sold pretty well.
But I like Def Jam Vendetta too.
Yeah, Def Jam. I mean, that's one of those situations where why is it that hasn't happened? I mean, has the creativity just left the left gaming period?
What happened to the people when they shut down EA Big? What happened to the people that work there? I guess that'll answer the question more than anything else. I don't really know what happened with that.
And they probably need to go see if they can find them and get them back.
Yeah, they need them big time.
I mean, y'all lost.
Oh, that's a nice pun there. That's a nice pun there, Shadow.
They probably merged into EA Sports regular, so a lot of them.
That sucks. Well, Andre, since you're back, you want to throw in your thoughts before we move on?
Are you talking about the EA and the remaster situation?
Yeah.
Well, I was kind of going to agree with what you said about Capcom with their list of remastered rehash of the same thing constantly. And I'm thinking like they got old games like Forgotten Worlds, they got Captain Commando. So many things way back in the past. Ghouls and Ghosts, hell, they could even bring back Maximo. Since that was the spin-off of Ghouls and Ghosts.
Ooh, Maximo, yeah.
Or just combine Maximo and Ghouls and Ghosts into one thing completely and put Maximo and Arthur in the same game.
Maximo and Ghosts.
Two different play styles. Arthur is your long range, Maximo is your short range.
Andre, this is why you have your channel.
Yes, it is. It's exactly why I have my channel.
And actually, since you brought that up, it would probably be perfect for that whole digital download thing because, like, Child of Light was a digital download from Ubisoft. So why couldn't Capcom do something like that with one of their...
Why couldn't we go back and give Captain Commando a proper sequel and make it the same style beat 'em up, but give it a proper sequel? Or what about Sector Z?
Because, we need better sprites.
What about Sector Z? That old game from the NES. I think that was Captain Commando in that too.
Probably. And
that was actually interesting. There's nothing like that anymore. Yeah. Besides Metroid. But it's still not exactly the same. I don't know. But to me, it looks like a lot of these companies... I can understand doing remasters, especially with your teams not knowing how to develop these games. Doing remasters would be good for them to learn. And they can gain experience quickly and put stuff out that you can actually still sell. But after they've done enough remasters, like you said, we should see another Power Stone. Or at least we should get a remastered duology of that game. And then see a sequel. Or like a Rival Schools Project Justice, a remastered duology, then a sequel.
Yeah. and do the remasters as the basically to test it, just to make sure you can get it to work.
Yeah, just do it to see if you can get it to work, see if people are interested in it, and if you get a bite, move forward.
Like, because it can't cost that much.
It doesn't. It really doesn't.
Because you have all the assets.
All they're doing is up-resing.
Yeah.
And then another series I would love to see Capcom bring back and strict the third game from the series completely. And I think I've said this several times before. Dino Crisis. And Dino Crisis would actually fit the current Resident Evil engine.
That would fit a lot of
Resident Evil.
It fit better than Resident Evil.
It would. That was what I'm saying. Take current Resident Evil back to its roots, and take Dino Crisis from that Resident Evil style, from the old style, because I never really felt like that fitted, and put it in the new Resident Evil style. And there you go. You've got two engines now for two famed styles for a game that people like. One that actually makes sense in it, and the other one could go back to what it was before that people liked.
That actually makes sense.
And I'm like, why is that so hard? Why is this so difficult to figure out?
Because it doesn't have the name Street Fighter in it.
And oh gosh, don't get me going on Street Fighter.
Because they need big dollars, man. They don't want to chase small dollars.
Look, I'm still worried about Street Fighter 5 taking place before Street Fighter 3.
Are you serious?
I hope it's after. I know. I'm worried that it might. There's no confirmation. But I was looking at Street Fighter 4 before it came. I was like, okay, cool, we got a new game. And they say it's before. It's right after Street Fighter 2. I was like, you mother.
Yeah.
I'm hoping.
Alpha, but after 2.
I'm hoping since Ken looks older and he's done something with his hair, this is further along and after Street Fighter 3. And we got Sean's, I think she's his older sister in Street Fighter 5. Like, why not show the little brother then, man?
Look, we don't need no convoluted storyline in a fighting game. We don't need no prequels, sequels, and none of that stuff in a fighting game.
The next one.
no,
I mean, it's fine. It's fine to have that stuff, but if it doesn't actually go anywhere or enhance the story, I don't want it.
That's what I mean. Because usually it won't. That's what I'm saying.
All Street Fighter 4 did was bring back Goken, who was supposed to be dead.
Which made no sense, by the way.
Oh, he separated his soul from his body. I'm like, how the hell did he do that?
Yeah.
How did he even know he could do that?
Before he got killed.
He was buried and dead.
Like,
So that mean this man slept for like 20 some odd years.
And then decided to wake up.
He just decided to reach out the ground and come back like Ash.
Rip Van Winkle did it. So
I'm like, that's what I mean. I wanted to see Goken in the game. Don't get me wrong. But if they were going to do that, I would have rather seen him in the Alpha series than something later on.
He's in the Alpha series, so.
Heck, Capcom could have done something with that mistake that they made in translation and made Shenlong a character.
Yeah.
There's your Goken replacement. Shenlong. That translation
error. You must stop Shenlong to stand a chance.
Yeah, I'm like, who the hell is Shen? Everybody was like, who is Shenlong?
That's right.
Like, Ryu obviously fought this dude. He must be tough. Who is he? They could have made something out of that. This is why they would need someone like me on their staff, because I'm like, you do realize we can do something with this, right?
And that make a story that makes sense.
They made Akuma. I'm like, who is Akuma? Like, he just came out of nowhere.
Can you tell us how this would make us money in Japanese, please? We need. Could you just tell us that? That's all we need to know.
I don't know. You'd have to have maybe Lager here for that. I can't tell you.
I mean, we want all this stuff, but do gamers today care about this stuff?
Well, the Evo crowd.
They probably would.
Yeah.
They probably. Hey, I'm sorry. As massive as Street Fighter is, I think they would care.
No, I just meant all the other stuff, like the other IPs we were talking about.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I know they probably don't.
Well, if you make it interesting, yeah.
It's got to be. It has to be interesting to them. I mean, they like Devil's Third.
Yeah, I mean,
that's true.
You have to make it where it catches their attention. So, like some of this stuff, like say, say like something like if they want to bring back Contra or something like that, that would appeal to the shooting crowd.
Yes, it definitely would. Oh my gosh, Akari Warriors.
Yeah.
But I
So
don't want Contra to be like a first-person shooter or something.
No,
I
no,
mean,
no, 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 no,
maybe
no,
I'll
no,
probably
no.
do like third person over the shoulder or something like that.
Gears of War type.
Yeah,
Something.
Gears of War is literally the perfect prototype for a
That's
3D
basically what it is. Yeah, it's one without jumping. That's all it is.
Yeah.
which kind of sucks. I want the jumping back and the
Nah,
platforming.
they're gonna get rid of the platforming if they do it.
Yeah.
No,
I guarantee.
They
They
then
gotta get a lot
follow
of people to
Metroid
like it.
Prime.
Well,
remember
as long as they give me my spread, I'm good.
Remember when they brought Bionic Commando back?
Oh yeah, that
God,
sucks.
yeah.
Oh, all right, okay, so we can
Yeah.
forget about that platforming.
Yeah, it's gonna be the platform.
But I mean, Bionic Commando was built around platforming, and they didn't do a good job with it.
All right, let's move on. We also got some news from the Wall Street Journal. Apparently, they had some news about Nintendo's next console, about it using industry-leading chips and how it's going to be more powerful than the PS4 and the Xbox One, yada yada yada, so on and so forth.
Okay, I want to jump on this first.
Go for it.
Now, people, common sense would dictate the chips and things are going to be cheaper to develop and put out there. So yes, it would make sense that Nintendo's next console would have more quote-unquote horsepower than the PS4 or the Xbox One. That's the same situation with the Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis. Super Nintendo came out like, what, 2-3 years later?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's going to be cheaper to develop the technology. That's common sense. It's not like Nintendo said, oh, we're going to intentionally try to shoot for being better than them. They just said, hey, this is what's here. This is what's going to work with what we want. This is what we're going to use. Another thing, though, I have a couple questions that will probably get me hated. But I'm going to ask them anyway. For the people who were mad about the rumor that the NX would be weaker than the PS4 and Xbox One and made those videos, why did you guys suddenly follow up with videos praising Nintendo for the rumor that the NX is more powerful when we still don't know?
Because they're all a bunch of followers.
Second question, and I've asked you guys this, but why is it that people dislike the gamepad? Like the majority of people out there have said they dislike the Wii U because of the gamepad, and a lot of these same people will say they dislike the PS Vita. But you're praising a concept, not a confirmed concept, but a concept that literally merges the ideas of the two things together when you don't like them separately. That seems a little suspicious.
Simple. It's called fanboyism. All right. It's that simple.
I mean, I personally, yes, the concept would excite me, but I like the gamepad and I like the idea of the PS Vita. So I can understand why I like it, but like the other people, that I'm like, hold on. So you dislike this. You dislike the possibilities that are here, or you haven't thought about those possibilities. But something that can literally be, like the NX could literally be the Wii U 2.0. And that's what I'm looking at the possibility of it being right now. It could literally be.
That is very
literally be the Wii U 2.0, but it's just that the gamepad isn't tied to it. But now that it could possibly use multiple gamepads, which would be the portable system, people are excited about them. I'm like, this don't add up. It does not add up. The math here is wrong.
Because they're not forcing you to use something you don't like. The gamepad.
But that's the problem. People are getting excited about using it when they don't like it when it's already available.
Yeah, now they want to use it as a portable because
that's where I'm looking at. I'm like, okay, I understand wanting to be able to use it as a portable, and to me that makes sense. I'm cool with that idea. But if you didn't like the uses of it before, how are you going to like the uses of it now? It's literally just one additional feature being added to it.
They're not. They just want Nintendo to do it so they can complain about that too.
That's eventually somebody. I mean, there's got to be somebody out there who just wholeheartedly hates this, and I'm not even questioning you guys. I already know you're static on what you're thinking. It's the flip flopping that's really.
Well, these people have no backbone, and they will slide to whatever popular argument is being made.
But this is exactly why I have been quiet about it. I have been so quiet about it because I want more information. I want confirmation for one.
Yeah, we don't have. First of all, we don't have confirmation. Yeah. So having a bunch of information means nothing until it's confirmed.
Yeah, the information is great, but unless it's confirmed, I'm going to stay skeptical.
Well, I said this last night. Look, Nintendo said they're going to talk about it at E3 2016.
Yep, just wait till
nobody else. I'm just not, because what's going to wind up happening is people are already done hyped themselves up,
and then they're going to be disappointed.
Yeah, it's not what they deem it should be.
Okay, so when Nintendo showed Wii U in 2011, I wasn't disappointed because I wasn't the person that was just like, yeah, I really believe this thing is going to drive 4 gamepads. Like, you know, so to all those people that clung to every word that other people were, you know, rumoring or whatever, you know, they were severely underwhelmed because they were too busy listening to the rumors and thinking that that's what it was going to be. So once they heard what Nintendo officially said, they're like, you know, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, you know, this is all bad.
Well, Reggie said himself that they're going to run 2 gamepads at least.
Yeah, at least 2. But you're talking about
we haven't gotten that.
For that, I think is right. People are rightful to be agitated with them for that because that is something that they said.
Yeah, and it was clearly possible, but apparently only with a couple of Japanese games.
Yeah.
So you know, because they sell the gamepad separately in Japan, but just not.
But the problem is they haven't really built too many games around the idea of 2 of them.
Yeah.
And with the console not doing as good as they expected, I can understand why they didn't push for that. Though I think if they would have done that early on, people probably would have been more open to it.
I think so.
I don't think so, because here's the problem, and I'm glad you brought up 2011, Shadow. This sounds eerily a lot like 2011.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. 2011.
All the promise of these special third-party games, and then just.
And I remember watching E3 2011. I remember seeing John Viticello. I remember seeing Molyneux, Cliffy B, all of them sitting up there touting it, talking about how the gamepad's going to revolutionize gaming. Like all TV play is where it's at.
Ken Levine.
What happened in 2012?
I could be in bed with my wife playing a full-fledged console. Shut up.
You can, but yeah.
You can, but he didn't really give a damn about that.
No, he didn't.
Yeah. What happened in 2012? In 2012, it was a complete 360 from what they said in 2011. So
yeah, it was. It was like everybody started dropping like flies.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, you know what? This sounds eerily a lot like 2011, and I'm not falling for it this time. So,
and I want to see it come to fruition.
I'll believe it after I see it.
Yeah, like a lot of people
I've seen it twice
and got mad at Nintendo for it, and I'm like, are y'all not gonna hold these third parties for what they said?
Yeah, they're the ones that pulled their games. They pulled games.
Yeah,
clearly
that they said they were bringing. So
after a month, after it being out on shelves a month, they was talking about, oh, there ain't no games for it. It's nothing but ports. Okay, 2013 rolls around. We were getting games on PS4 and Xbox One that was remakes of games from that previous year. Or earlier that year.
Yeah.
Definitive editions, anyone? And nobody said a thing. So.
Well, some of us did.
Because they're better.
Yeah, but we were drowned out.
They're visually and performance better. So.
Yeah, we were drowned out though.
It's
that's
fine.
The thing. I'm like that craziness. So yeah, look, I know people are happy to try to get their views up by talking about the new console. But honestly, Nintendo said E3 2016.
Well, I mean, that's all the Nintendo fans on here. It seems like right now all they want to hear about is NX.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that.
A lot of these dudes have moved on from the Wii U already. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not worried about that.
People moved on from the Wii U before it was out.
Yeah, they were like, oh, it's on about 7.
But it was the new console, so
yeah,
it's the new console. Everybody was like, oh,
I'm perfectly fine with people. I'm perfectly fine with people wanting to get hyped up for the new console. It's understandable because new console means new features, new possibilities, new stuff might come.
It's understandable if you're 12.
Or you have an overactive imagination like me.
You should know better if you're, an older gamer,
Like
how these things
here's
work
the thing,
out.
man.
Hype never gets met. It never, almost
Never,
never gets met.
never. So
There's the super rare occasion, like 1 in 1,000 games, that might actually
Right.
happen.
99.9% of the time, hype never doesn't get met. And if you're a gamer, like you say, you've been around a long time, I've been gaming forever, you should know this. So
Yeah.
when things happen that you don't like, and you get all pissed, upset about it, you're exposing yourself. You know. So
yeah. So I mean, I like I said, I'm not worried about it because I still got Xenoblade to play. I still got some more games that I'm liking that's going to be out on the U. So I'm not worried about it.
yeah.
E3, I'll worry about it at E3 when they talk about it at E3.
As I said,
oh, goodness. Go ahead, T. Go ahead.
I was just saying, as I said, and I'm going to say in an upcoming video, my Wii U purchase has been justified. I have 40 plus games on it. And if you have 40 plus games on your favorite console, then I would think you'd be doing all right. So.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like I don't get the whole justification thing. If you're having fun in your system, then your purchase is justified. I don't care if you got 5 games on it. If you're having fun, then it should be justified to you.
Yep. And I was having a blast this whole weekend. I've been gaming a lot this weekend. I was having a blast yesterday playing games that some of them came out a year ago. And I'm still having fun playing them. Mario Kart 8, Smash Brothers. Had a blast in Smash the other night. So
Never too late to go back to Wonderful 101.
Never too late.
Wonderful 101. I want to restart that.
Shameless plug.
I'm
You
just
slip that in there.
That's like the best. That's like the best comedy ever. That's like the best action comedy video game ever. That and Lego City.
No, it isn't. Everybody knows it's South Park.
I
still haven't 100%ed Lego City, and I want to. So I'm still going to get enjoyment out of a game I bought damn near 3 years ago.
Yeah. So I know that's what everybody want to talk about, but I'm like, dude, I just don't see the point in talking about it right now after what came out of Nintendo's mouth. So,
we have no confirmed nothing. We have no confirmed games. We have no
unlisted sources, unnamed sources.
As far as we know, officially, we still don't know if NX is a console, a handheld, or a hybrid. Still don't know.
Hell, officially, we don't even have a name.
No, we don't.
That's another thing. Like everybody, okay, I'm just
even officially we didn't get names. We got Revolution. And
you might as well call it Dolphin or
Project
Cafe.
And Project Reality. And
I'm just
from Nintendo.
I'm just going to go in with the mindset of thinking that maybe part of this rumor is true, and they did just get dev kits out. Okay, dev kits just went out. Maybe like within a span of 3 months.
Yeah.
Unless this console is like this device, I'm not even going to say console, this device is so super easy to develop for, it's going to take at least a year, like a year and a half to 2 years for games to be developed for it. And on top of that, we know Nintendo themselves develop very slowly because they're meticulous about how they develop their games. Are we so certain that they're going to pull a Sega Saturn and put this out next year?
They're not.
No, and here's the other thing too, and I hate to jump on people's parade because everybody has these wonderful wishes. It's not going to be easy to develop for. And the reason why I say that is it's not going to be just a run-of-the-mill x86 dump ports here, and it'll work just fine from PC or whatever. It's not going to work that way. Nintendo doesn't develop games that way. Plus, they really, really, really are down on this backwards compatibility thing. And by backwards compatibility, I don't mean emulation like eShop and all that. I mean like straight up, this will play Wii U games.
Mm-hmm.
So if they don't stick with power architecture, they'll figure out some kind of way to run a hypervisor on like a custom Xeon or something. A lot of people were thinking just because there was a offhand comment by somebody else thinking that maybe an i7 and a high-end graphics card was running a demo that they supposedly saw from this preview hardware or whatever. That doesn't detail anything. Like, just because somebody looks at something, that doesn't tell you what type of CPU or GPU is in there. So I wouldn't even. Some people jump the gun way too quick. So think about how much it costs for them to make this kind of stuff.
Oh no! See, that's the one thing you said the cost.
Yeah.
If somebody,
Well,
if Nintendo is doing what everybody wants, what they want, this device is going to be $600 plus.
Well, I won't even say that because okay, they actually do want an Intel chip in there or something like that, versus say a custom like server grade processor or something like that, or an older architecture that they just really tune it up real good or whatever. Off the shelf part is going to cost more. Why? Because we get throwaways as customers. We basically, when you buy an i7, you're basically buying a broken Xeon. You're buying a bend part, that's not good enough to be a server class, so they sell it to you as desktop class.
Yep.
That's why you don't expect it to last longer than 5 or 6 years, whereas a Xeon class 10, 12, whatever, because that's what they buy them for. They disable certain features on them, and then they sell them to you. And the same thing works with graphics cards as well. When you buy a mid-range GPU instead of a high-end GPU, you're actually buying a high-end GPU. They just disabled like half of the chips on it, or they took some of the cores off of it and downclocked everything. So when you're talking about getting something like that, and you're building a platform en masse, and you're buying these chips in bulk, your biggest problem. I don't know if anybody follows like Apple or Samsung and how they make these phones and stuff like that. Your biggest problem that's going to cause you money issues is yield. You want to know how many thousands of these chips you can make without, 1,000 failures. You want as few failures as possible. So you're probably gonna spend top dollar on whatever it is. If it's not top of the line now, it'll be top of the line from maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And you spend that money up front because that's part of your R&D costs until you can get production down, until the yields, are starting to look good, and you can spin them up and you can have multiple fabs produce them. So people aren't really thinking, they're thinking, oh, well, I could build a PC, so therefore it's real easy for me to. No, it doesn't work that way. It requires a lot of coordination, and it requires a lot of companies to basically work on a team together to get a whole bunch of parts from all over the world to work together and make sense. So when how can I say this? Taking an i7 from the desktop that's sitting right in front of me right now, and somehow plopping that onto what otherwise would be an embedded console. So you got an embedded GPU, but let me stick this just regular die over here. Now is it going that board is going to be way slower than everything else on the console. It's also going to draw a lot of electricity, and that means you're going to have a bigger power supply, which means it's going to cost more money. And you're going to have, if it's going to be slower, then you're going to have to figure out a way to compensate for everything else on the platform as well, because you can only move as fast as your slowest part. So now that means all the way down to the way that you develop games, you're going to have to develop games with that in mind. And that's going to be, it's people just think you can build these machines like Lego blocks and everything will work. It doesn't work that way at all. A lot of people wondered why Nintendo always had their clock rates in multiples of 3 and things like that. It's all about syncing things. It's all about how you expect hardware to react. It's all about, if you have to code everything in that machine language, straight ones and zeros, what would you get? What would you get if you went higher than that with hex? What would you get if you went higher than that with assembly, or or anything else higher than that? And that's basically how they test stuff, and they test for failures over and over again, be it software wise or hardware wise. And whichever piece of hardware gives them the least failures, that's what they're going to go with, because that's where the money is. A lot of people don't understand that. It's not, hey, we have to have the most powerful hardware on the block, or hey, we have to be able to have our clock speed be as high as theirs. And they don't care. Nintendo doesn't care about that shit. They want to make sure that when this game is executed, it doesn't crash, or if any executable loads on this, it doesn't crash, or if it does crash, it's the fault of the coder and not the hardware. And they spend years doing that. They spend years doing it for Wii U and GameCube and every other platform they've been making. So until people understand that little bit of, and I'm not, this is just common development practice for anybody that's built any type of hardware. If you've built a phone, if you've built a TV, that type of project management should be ingrained in you. And obviously, being the layman or the person that goes into GameStop every day, you don't think that way. You're just like, I want, and this person builds a PC, so it should be like that. No, it's not. Who has a computer with a 128-bit processor? Nobody does, right? Guess what? I'm looking at a Sony console right now that has one.
PS2.
Yeah. 128-bit. All the rest of them now are 64 or 32. And you would have thought many years ago that we would never go backwards, right? But it's all about how you make the games.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I was gonna not comment at all because I didn't want to make the whole
information overload.
My brain is melted.
I'm sorry.
Hey man, knowledge is power.
Yeah, I just here's the short and simple of it, right? Nobody knows anything about this platform. It's more than likely going to be a repeat of everything we've been going through. And I hate this to sound like a Debbie Downer, but that's actually a good thing because that means that Nintendo will still be able to make kick-ass games because they're going to know what they're working with. And if either other developers fall in line with it or they don't. That's what they did with GameCube. They fell in line with it. That's what they did with Wii because they were forced to. They weren't forced to with Wii U because they just waited to see what would happen with the other two.
Basically.
Yeah. And at this point,
I don't get it.
They're probably going to be forced to because they're losing a lot of money on those anyway.
It seems like the gamers run with every excuse that third parties make for why they don't make games on Nintendo consoles. Because we went through, how many generations where the hardware was different on each platform. Now all of a sudden, that's the most important thing that we have similar boxes all over the place. So I don't understand that.
I mean, how much more are we gonna give these developers, man? I don't understand that. Why aren't they responsible for making their games good on everything they decide to sell on?
And it's not like once they get what they want, we're getting this overly compelling software from them. You know,
Exactly.
most people are very either disappointed or just underwhelmed by this gen so far. And whose fault is that?
Hey, we're echoing bad.
Shadow, you're getting feedback.
Is it me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm seeing the levels pop up.
Yeah, so like whose fault is that gamers are underwhelmed this gen so far?
I'll say this twofold. That's us, the gamers, and also I'm not going to place the blame on the developers. I'm going to place it on the publishers.
It's the publishers.
The publishers. Because the publishers set the deadlines and give the schedules and all of the funding and stuff, and they set up stuff the way they want it to be.
It was just like me and Jay were talking about on Fresh Take, Shameless Plug. We were talking about whose fault was it that Batman and Robin was a terrible movie.
Oh God!
And he
I watched that one.
He was saying it was Schumacher, but I was like, no, actually it's not. And Schumacher would be the developer, right? Yeah. Whereas what's his name? John Peters would be the publisher. He's the executive producer of Warner Brothers. So I was saying that it was the producer's fault, which would be the publisher's fault, for digging in to what the developer was doing, say, no, we need to do this, we need you to take this out of the game so we can make a DLC, blah, 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 messing up the artistic process of developing a game. And that's what's happening a lot these days. Because you have the guys who, obviously they pay for the game, they deserve some respect.
Yeah.
But they think their heads get too big, and they think they're the sole reason a game is successful. And they forget that it's the art guys, it's the creators, and so that's mainly the problem we have this gen, because a lot more today games are quote unquote assembly line, yearly releases. It's just really stale, and that is the fault of the money guys.
Yes.
Developers are creative people by nature. They want to make creative games, and but they have to, they have to deal with the people who pay the bills. So
Basically, if they don't appease the landlord, the lights get turned off.
that's exactly right.
Pretty much.
Which is sad because I know some of these developers have some like awesome concepts that they bring up, and they just get shot down.
And that's why I said the indie market is so freaking creative because they don't have to cater to anybody.
That's
They
why
can
we
do
see
what
so
they
many.
want.
That's why we see so many major, well-known developers dropping from their companies and going indie.
Because they're tired of being, handcuffed and shackled. So.
Yeah, that's true. I was humbled yesterday.
I mean, that's an easy, common mistake. I'm not, I wouldn't try to throw you under the bus or anything. It's just that, that's the easy thing to say is, it's the director's fault. It's not always the director's fault. And I say that for what was that? I'm talking movies again, but what the Fantastic Four movie that just came out.
Yeah.
Josh Trank has some, blame there, but it was the studio who gave him all the power, and then they tried to take it away at the end. So, that's what you get. You get bad movies. You get bad or mediocre games.
Yeah, true. All right, let's move on from this one because that's kind of hard.
Wah. Depressing.
Okay. Well, here's one that kind of upsets me a little bit, and this is that whole when a gaming website does a playthrough of a game and they keep doing playthroughs and the game hasn't even released yet. IGN, I'm looking at you. All right, look, Halo 5 does not come out until October 27th. Why are you constantly putting up gameplay videos? Why?
They're paid to. That's why. Honestly, that's it. They're paid to do that.
Well, they're paid to do that, but at the same time, I'm sitting there and I'm looking. I'm like, okay, well, here's a problem with that though. I know people that's gonna be like, well, hell, there's no reason for me to get the game now.
Yeah, it's ruining the experience for them.
Yeah, I'm like, and they're constantly putting up stuff. There's one up today. I'm like, dude, come on. I can understand like the first 15 minutes. That's fine. The first 15 minutes of the main campaign, that's fine. Let people see what it looks like.
Yeah.
But playing the whole damn thing for them.
Yeah. That's something actually Game Explain on here on YouTube used to do a lot. And I was ready to unsub because I was like, man, you guys, before the game comes out, it's like video after video after video.
Yeah. So that's just one thing that actually upsets me because I don't have a problem with it after the game releases, but before the game even releases, we're still like a week out. Like I think 7 days out or something like that.
Yeah. From
the game being released, and they're on like they're 5 vids deep.
Yeah. But would they do it if nobody watched it? Probably not.
Probably not, because I know I just keep seeing it. Like if you go on the site, you know it's on their main thing that's up. So I don't click on it because I'm like I'm actually looking forward to this game, so I don't want to ruin it for myself. So I'm not clicking on it, but I know a lot of people probably are. It's just annoying to know that they're doing it. I'm like, we're not even a week out. I'm like, ain't there something else y'all want to play? It's actually going to be releasing. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, we'll play it if you pay us for it.
Apparently. Or y'all gonna give us a new system with games that I don't have to pay. That I don't have to pay for.
I don't know. To me, that's just annoying. It's really just annoying. That's why I don't go to those videos.
I don't even go to IGN anymore. Maybe once a month. So I don't even know what they're doing over there.
Yeah, I just troll them on social media. Whenever they post them on social media, I'm like, why are you even doing this? We know what the true reason why you're even posting it on here at all. So
I mean, I understand this advertisement and it's getting them their advertising revenue, which I think is a screwed up system because that means that there's more favorable coverage for people who pay for more advertising.
Yeah.
Right. You do that, and sometimes you don't necessarily try to do that, but because you're so buddy with these people, it's hard for you to critique them fairly, you know.
I
So
mean, it's okay to be friends with them,
yeah.
but
Well, no, it's not actually.
no, I would say
I
it's
don't want my
okay to be friends
reporters.
with them. It's okay to be friends with them if you can separate your work from your friendship. If you can't do that, then no. just don't engage in that.
That's kind of a dying art, man. That's kind of a where you could be aggressive and get the story the way it's supposed to be gotten, and then when the camera's off, you can talk to them and
I was
still
like,
be cool with them.
dude, business is business. I
People
understand
take stuff
that.
people are too sensitive today.
Way
They can't separate you critiquing them on something and because it's personal. They take it personally. You can't critique their work without them getting butthurt about
But
everything.
there's also another side to critiquing, though. There are some people who critique completely negatively.
Yeah.
Of course.
That's not critique.
Yeah.
Unless it's something that they favor or something they're
Critique.
getting paid for.
When you critique something, you talk about both the positive and the negative aspects of it, and you give ideas or thoughts as to how those negative aspects can be fixed or worked around.
Well, I mean,
When you outright say this sucks, that sucks, everything about that sucks, and this isn't any good, that's not critiquing. That's bashing.
well, I mean, like nobody. I mean, it's pretty obvious, especially in this community, that negativity is where the clicks and views are. That's nobody like it. Think about nightly news. If nightly news was all about Care Bears and gumdrops and nothing, there was no shooting somewhere, nothing happening. Would you watch? Nobody will watch that.
I don't think anybody would watch it because of the Care Bears.
But you know what I'm saying? Like nobody would watch some gumdrops newscast. People want to see who's getting shot, who's getting robbed, and
which is weird. It's sad that people want to know how bad other people are doing.
yeah.
Do we have to know how bad someone else is doing to make ourselves feel better?
And they get all freaked out. They act like that's happening. They have to get extra protection because the world's coming to an end or something, and they freak out about stuff. And that's what people get. That's what excites people, especially in this community. They need that drama, man. You need
bad. That is just so bad.
No,
you know what though? I'm happy that I've stepped away from being angry at people on my channel about stuff. I mean, not like it happened a whole lot, but I think my videos are doing fairly well, even though I pretty much am a one-trick pony at the moment until I get all my other stuff set up.
I just noticed a lot of people's views went down because they don't do that stuff.
Yeah,
I'm personally fine with it.
Your views will suffer when you try to be positive.
Yeah.
I am personally fine with that. My views might have suffered, but the responses I've gotten back because of it are amazing.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I personally don't care. Like, I do YouTube because it's fun for me. When it starts being fun for me, I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm not going to cater to what's the hot topic. I'm not going to do that. That's corny. That's just not how I get down. So when I'm not having fun anymore, then I'll stop making videos. That stuff doesn't bother me.
Well, I only got one more topic tonight, and that's esports.
Esports.
Yeah, it's
EA
not
Sports.
Apparently, because apparently now esports is the big thing now.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of games are being played competitively, and when you have a lot of games being played competitively, you have different tournaments and all that stuff.
And can we say that several of these games were not meant to be played competitively?
That's exactly what I was coming to.
Smash Bros. What?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Smash Bros. That's one of them.
Why did you do that?
You know what?
I'm sorry. Given that Nintendo 64 commercial, how could you not think this was a competitive game?
There you go.
They were just skipping along all happily to just
me
at each other.
and you and me, so happy
together. They just beat the snot out of each other.
One of the greatest video game commercials ever. So.
I swear, if Nintendo went back to that style of advertising, they'd be so much better off.
Get aggressive. Get in or get out.
That Mario.
You know what I'm saying? Get in or get out my face.
Pretty weird too. The whole clean is dirty or dirty is whatever it was.
Yeah.
That was kind of weird.
That was really weird. But you see what I'm saying though. Like some stuff is. I still believe that some stuff is not meant to be a competitive thing, and you got people that's trying to make it competitive. Even going as far as if somebody that is generally just playing it for fun, genuinely, they want to go at them. Why you ain't playing competitive?
I agree with you,
Because
man.
I don't feel like doing that.
Trying to get some stuff, like you said, you're right. It's not meant to be competitive. Like trying to be able to date the rapper game. It's not. It shouldn't be a competition. They're trying to make a competition out of everything. Dating Ray J and stuff. So
What? Oh, gosh, that sounds horrible.
Yeah,
it is.
That sounds
If you have a
terrible.
wife who loves that
sounds
kind of ratchet
terrible.
stuff, then you will you'll see it all the time.
That sounds scary.
But I'm being
I
facetious.
think that would be more scary than a horror game to me. I'm sorry.
Man, I forgot my point now.
You said
I
the
did have a
radio
point.
thing, and I
That's
couldn't
correct.
let that one go.
No, but yeah, he's right. Like but the cool thing, I think, this is my point, is that this is how big it is now. There are colleges out there that are offering full scholarships for people who can play video games really well.
Hey,
Who can join their team or esports teams at colleges.
as a child that grew up during the era when people would say, "You can't make money playing video games,"
Mm.
ha ha, motherfuckers.
Mm.
I almost slipped. I stopped myself. Ha ha.
Well, that was proven a long time ago.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, like, it's now literally you can make money
Yeah,
playing
you
it
can
literally.
go to college and get a scholarship based
You can go
on.
to college for playing video games.
It's nuts.
yeah.
It's true. It's cool to me. Like, if you want to watch it, it's cool to me to watch some of the competitive stuff. Unless it's like a game that I know is like horribly broken, like Marvel vs. Capcom 3. But if you watch it and you can see like somebody's actually learned like some combinations and techniques and stuff like that, that's cool. That stuff is interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want people to think I have to play that way in order to enjoy the game. Like, no, if you enjoy the game playing that way, cool, do that. Don't try to drag me into it if I don't want to play that game that particular way.
Are you telling me you wouldn't have fun playing Ocarina of Time and beating it in 24 minutes?
I probably, oddly enough, I probably would have fun doing that because it's just something I don't typically do. But at the same time, I'm not interested in necessarily doing that. This is like, okay, let's take, for example, somebody wants to speed run Sonic the Hedgehog. Okay, why not have a bunch of people lined up on a bunch of different monitors, start at the exact same time and see who gets to finish it first?
Yeah,
that would be cool to me.
That's cool.
But that's not really happening much.
Yeah.
If stuff like that happened, I'd be cool with seeing it. I also like seeing the fighting games, and that's basically what most of these esports are about. It's either fighting games, first-person shooters, or third-person shooters.
Right.
It's not necessarily
RTS is.
It's not necessarily a game that actually requires you to think as much. Not saying that those games don't, because they do, but a platformer is going to require more thinking than a fighting game is.
Or skill.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm not going to say skill. I'm going to say thinking, because depending on the fighting game, you can get really deep.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But it will require more thinking because you can't rush out a situation in every platformer and think you're just going to come out of it okay.
Right.
You have to plot your course. Whereas a fighting game, you could literally rush somebody and throw them off and take a match. And I've done that quite a few times online in fighting games where I just rush the person before they're prepared and I take the match because they don't know how to react to it. And it's happened to me before. So it just depends. But if we had a bunch of people lined up playing Crash Bandicoot on the PS1, I swear that would be an interesting thing.
I would like to see that.
4 different people lined up trying to beat that game the fastest.
People
I want to see that.
People forget that Crash is a cute, cuddly, what do you call it, a mascot game.
Oh,
that's a tough game.
Difficult.
That's a hard game.
Nah, that game's hard. Them jumps, man.
Yeah, it's a tough game.
What's another one? Another one that died out on the PS1, Tomba.
Oh, Tomba, yeah.
I would love to see that.
Yeah.
If
Some of these shoot 'em ups. What happened to shoot 'em ups? And like Gradius and that kind of stuff. Ikaruga and
Axlay, all that stuff. Oh, another one. You said shoot 'em ups, and I'm thinking
shmups.
Mars Matrix. Put a bunch of unskilled people up against Mars Matrix that don't know about how you're supposed to watch your ship while you play.
Yeah.
And have to deal with all those bullets on screen. Half of them can't hit you anyway, but you don't know that.
Dude, there is a really good one on the eShop right now. Oh my God, what's the name of it? I love this game and I can't remember the name of it. It's like maybe $5. And
I think I know what you're talking about.
I've seen it. I played. It's in one of my videos. I know I used it in one of my videos as background or whatever. I cannot remember the name of it.
Are you talking about the one that Shinin did?
No, it's not Shinin.
Well, I said that's Nano.
It's a real simple looking shoot 'em up.
And then
I can't think of it right now.
It's not affordable.
No. It's got like one word name. I can't think of it right now.
Oh man.
But it is very competitive. It has like leaderboards and stuff like that too, so you can see who's at the top in it online for Wii U. So that's the kind of stuff I like to see competitive.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we should all download it and do a kind of competition and see who's the best. Do our own little tournament.
I would love to set some stuff up like that if I ever had the chance. I would love to set stuff like that up.
Yeah. And by the way, because we talked about this about Mario Maker levels, like any of the viewers who want to leave their codes for levels they created, and they can leave them in the comment section if you want, and I will play them and upload the video of me playing it, and when these guys get on that capture card game, they'll also do the same too. So.
Yeah, look, I'm sorry, okay, but you do know though, after and unfortunately I am moving soon, yeah. But after I move,
capture cards ain't cheap. They're,
No, I'm just saying Mario Maker. Beware the king.
I don't know. That Intensity 4K requires a lot of stuff. Basically, you have to buy an SSD if you're going to use it. So it depends on if you're getting a compressed capture card or not, or uncompressed. Because sometimes you just want stuff to go directly in Final Cut Pro.
You know what I'm saying?
If you do have Mario Maker, because we did run into that Wednesday night, just leave the code or whatever level, and somebody get to
it. I will play them. and upload the video of me playing it.
Yes, T gonna be cussing me out.
I'll upload them to Gamers at Large, not my channel. Gamers at Large.
Yeah, this is T gonna be cussing me out when I get mine. Like this mother.
Troll levels, I can't stand you dudes with troll levels.
No, they're not gonna know. My levels will not be troll levels. You will feel trolled, but they will not be troll levels. They will legitimately be difficult. Just like my
if you ever play Andre in Smash Brothers and he says, "Let's go to some of the levels I create," say no. Just say no.
Oh man.
Just say no. He's like,
if anyone has played my Mario and Donkey Kong levels, those are legitimately hard. They're not impossible. You just have to think and figure them out.
Can you do them?
Yes. If they're uploaded, I can do them, obviously.
Mario and Donkey Kong on the Wii U?
Wii U and 3DS, yeah.
The cross-platform game, yeah.
Mine are legitimately difficult. They're not cheaply difficult because there's multiple ways to do the same thing, and somebody's mad.
Yeah. See, she must just play one of your levels.
How that
went. So you want to talk? Go ahead, talk.
Children at large.
Yep.
You get to the mic and you get quiet. That's how most people do. You finally get the mic and you want to get quiet.
I had something to say.
Oh.
Go ahead, say it.
I get you
Right.
This is so perfect. That was so well. But yeah, I'm just saying, once I get Super Mario Maker, after I move, I don't know how long, but it will be shortly after I move, and I'll get that and start uploading my levels.
Oh Lord. So people, if you want to be sufficiently frustrated with his levels, yeah, he'll have them at the he moves.
I have a really good one up myself.
Seeing as, go ahead, T.
No, that's it. I just was just saying I have a really
got
good one up
really good
myself.
one up.
I'll
But
add
seeing
to
as
the.
I can look at pictures of other people's levels and analyze them. Yeah, you have a problem with me.
Yeah.
I think it was either KH Anime or Malik JC who had put up a level, and I kind of analyzed it just from the picture.
Mm.
It was one of the two of them. I don't remember. I think it's KH Anime though. I think it's KH Anime.
And that's probably why I'm scared to play that game. That is more than likely why I'm scared to play that game. But people, that's all we got for tonight. We're gonna go and get out of here and wrap up. Shadow, you got anything you want to pimp out?
No, the stuff that I promised last episode, I'll eventually get around to it. I guess at some point. Life, kids, and everything else will dictate. So you'll see it, and you'll know how to plug hard drives up to the systems as if I never made a video on it already.
All right. All right, T, you got anything you want to pimp?
T?
He's muted. He probably stepping away.
Okay,
All right.
Andre?
Well, I do have some gameplay stuff coming up in the near future, as well as some stuff that's going to be dropping while I'm off of YouTube for a little while. I also have my Wii U game ideas videos coming out. My last one was Fire Emblem Warriors that published, if I remember correctly. But that's about it.
All right. T, you made it back yet? Or maybe not.
Yeah, here I am.
Okay. We're just wrapping up. So anything you want to pimp out?
Yeah, I got like, I don't know, at least 10 videos I'm working on right now, and I think they're all pretty good stuff. So be looking out for that. I'm going to drop a couple of gameplays before that, but yeah, like I always say, play Nintendo, fools.
All right. Me personally, I am going to be putting up some gameplay of the new Tales game that comes out on Tuesday. I'll probably have that up by probably Wednesday or Thursday at the latest. Other than that, I don't really have anything else planned out. I will be putting up the Fresh Take Q&A that me and T did last night. I'll be adding that to the Gamers at Large video reel, as you could say, and you guys check that out. And I will catch you guys on the next vid. Peace out.
Yeah.